Okay, how's it going? I'm doing my monthly haul video. It's kind of out of sync though. I was thinking about it when I was planning this video. The last haul video was really September's movies, but it came out at the beginning of October, so it's October's haul. And the same goes for this. It's really the stuff I grabbed the last month, and now I'm calling it November's haul, so it's kind of disingenuous, but I'm just kind of naming it the month that it comes out. If that makes sense, I hope it does, because these are really mostly horror movies for the most part, because I was in that Halloween mindset of I need to grab some horror movies while I'm in the mood. So you're going to see a lot of those, but there's also kind of a, mixed bag like usual. But let's just hop into it. Getting off to a fantastic start. Alien Covenant. This was $3, and I already have every other Alien movie, the first four, Prometheus, both Alien vs. Predators. This was really the missing one for me. And now that I own it, I'm done with Alien. I've seen Romulus once, never again. I think Romulus is the worst movie in the franchise, and that's saying a lot considering Alien 3 exists and Alien Resurrection. And even this. I think this is a pretty bad movie all around. I do like Michael Fassbender in this movie playing two parts. Walter and David, you've got two different androids, one who is very evil and one who's just a very obedient, good robot. He's the good guy. David is not.
In the blink of an eye, civilization. And are you that next visionary? I'm glad you said it.
So I like that there's like the yin and the yang of the two robots, but they just had to kind of go the fan service route. You could tell Ridley Scott kind of panicked because people didn't really get what he was going for with Prometheus. And the people who did get it, we were in the quiet minority. The loud majority hated this, so they hated the direction it was going in. So with this movie, they were going for something completely, mainstream that people could swallow easy. And all right, throw in some xenomorph scenes in a closed environment, people having sex in the shower, give us all the horror movie tropes that we've all seen in these movies a million times. So I kind of hate that part of the movie, but the first half, I like this movie, and they're just exploring in space, and Danny McBride's fucking piloting the ship. I love all of that weird stuff. And I like the fact that James Franco gets torched alive before he even makes an appearance in the movie. I mean, I'm not the biggest James Franco fan, so it kind of just makes me laugh when I watch that. They just kind of have him in the movie to get clowned on. I'm alright with it. I would not recommend this movie, but it's got some scenes. I think of the scene with the lady getting locked in the room with the xenomorph when it's killing her and the girl just runs out of the ship. That's a good scene, but yeah, overall, this was probably the last hurrah for me with this franchise, because everything after this just seems like a nightmare, so let's just pretend it's done. I don't think I mentioned this in any of my last haul videos, but if I did, darn it. I think I missed this, though. Flushed Away. I just buried it on my shelf. I've obviously seen this movie a million times. To me, this is the unsung animated movie of my childhood. Shrek gets love. Ice Age gets love. Toy Story, you name it. All those movies, they all get love. But with this is always kind of disrespected. I don't ever hear it mentioned in those same conversations. I have a friend, and him and I love this movie. This is one of our most quoted movies. I actually have multiple friends who we quote this movie all the time with each other. It's a classic for me, and I think the cast is really good. You go down the list, it's like, holy shit, Ian McKellen's in this, Hugh Jackman. It just keeps going. The list keeps going, and it's funny.
These things are supposed to be dangerous. Danger is my middle name. I thought it was Leslie. Oh.
The only downside, this was full screen. I didn't look because I was so excited to find Flushed Away for like $1 that I just kind of, and it doesn't really say full screen. Oh, it does right there. I'm just blind. I was just too excited. But I'll upgrade this to Blu-ray for sure at some point. Who doesn't love Roddy St. James getting into the mischief that he's getting? That scene at the beginning when he's just by himself at home. That's me. When my family leaves and I'm by myself, I'm setting up golf matches in my living room and I'm shooting Nerf darts at DVDs to start up the movie. It's fantastic. Even the little Wolverine reference where he pulls the suit out when he's in the closet. Love it. I don't love this movie. I'm just gonna come out and say it. It's fine. For me and my girlfriend, we wanted to add more, I almost said animated movies. We wanted to add more Christmas movies to our list of growing movies that we have. So Elf was one of them. I don't really need this on Blu-ray. I've had plenty of opportunity to buy it on Blu-ray. I can just deal with having it on DVD. I'll only watch it once every couple of years, most likely. I'd say this year's probably it's gonna get rewatched. I haven't seen this in 4 or 5 years at least, so I'd like to rewatch it, see if it's still funny to me. The snowball fight when I was like 10 years old was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Probably isn't the funniest thing ever anymore, but I think there's some definite good comedy in here when he gets hit by the taxi. That's a, decent Jon Favreau movie. Christmas with the Cranks. Now, this is why I don't trust reviews. Like, if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, this has got like 2%. I am not watching this expecting a great movie with fantastic storytelling. It's entertaining, though. Every time I watch this, I'm entertained. It's not a great movie, like I just said. It's not. But what is the purpose of a Christmas movie to me? To feel like it's Christmas, to watch it and have that Christmas vibe, but also just to be entertained. I don't want to watch something and be bored in Christmas time. And I have fun with this movie. I remember being 3 or 4 years old whenever this came out, and we got it on VHS pretty much right away. My sister loved this movie, so I watched it with her. And I've got a lot of fond memories. I like Dan Aykroyd in it. I've always liked Tim Allen personally. The only weak link, funnily enough, is Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't find her funny. I think she's a good actress in some movies out there, One comedy I would say she's good in is A Fish Called Wanda, but she's not really the funny part of that movie. So she's kind of the weak link. But I just think this is a funny Christmas movie for kids who grew up in my era, born from like 1995 to 2000. You'd probably enjoy this movie. Planet 51. This goes in line with Flushed Away, in the same lines of, I don't know why this is so underrated. You talk to most people, they've either never seen it or they say it's stupid. No, it's such a dumb movie. Again, my buddy and I, who I call and talk to most often, this is one of our favorite animated movies. We always drop this in conversations. We always reference lines from this movie. It's hilarious.
What the? Duck?
This is one of the only times Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's ever done an animated movie. He should have done more of them. He's good in Moana. I don't really like the movie, but his voice it lends itself very well to being an animated character. He does really good in this movie. Justin Long's hilarious. You've got Stifler in there. Like, the cast is hilarious. I just think everybody's got to watch this. If you enjoy any animated movies of any kind, you enjoy the 1950s setting, you enjoy alien movies, you're going to love this. I love the 1950s music that they've got playing throughout this. A lot of classics. It's, for me, an unforgettable movie. I can understand how this would be forgettable for some people if you've seen it once or whatever, but just go check it out. I think you'd enjoy it as an adult. The second last James Bond that I needed to get, Octopussy. Will I watch it ever? Not really. I believe this is the one where they have him dressed as a clown. I could be wrong. But I believe that it is, yep, this is it, 1983. So this is the one where he dresses as a clown to save the day. This was, like, over the boiling point for me not giving a fuck about these movies. When I went through the marathon of all 24 James Bonds, you hit this point with the Roger Moore movies, and every movie wanted to put a bullet in my brain. Not literally, but you know what I mean. It was just, no. It was so boring, man. And they're just trying to throw everything they can at the screen to entertain you. It does not work. This movie is so terrible, and I think A View to a Kill is my least favorite James Bond. This is bottom 5 for sure. I can't stand this. I like some Roger Moore Bonds, the ones that take themselves a little more serious, but towards the end of his run there, they were just getting so up their own ass with stupidity. It was like, let's see how much we can get away with, because the audience will just watch it and eat it up anyways. Yeah, this ain't it, Chief. The Last House on the Left remake. I've never seen the original. I hate to admit it. I know, I'm a fraud. It's a Wes Craven classic, but here I am with the remake, which I've seen twice. I don't love this movie. Again, I just like to buy horror movies to expand my horror collection. I don't know why, but that's my favorite genre of film. It always is. It always probably will be. It's just, it sounds psychotic, but it's relaxing to put a horror movie on and fall asleep. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not obviously putting on, like, Saw sometimes, but, you know, you throw, I mean, maybe not this, because there's some crazy shit going on in this movie, but certain horror movies, just throw them on in the background. I always put, like, Halloween on in the background, just go to sleep. It's relaxing to me. Don't judge, okay? But this movie, it's got some dark subject matter. This goes in line with I Spit on Your Grave for me, where it's just almost too hard to watch some scenes, just uncomfortable. But they get the payback, so that's definitely satisfying. Yeah, I'd say check this out. This is a good remake. Again, I don't have any reference because I've never seen the original, but I enjoyed this for what it was. Just don't go in expecting something fantastic. Lilo and Stitch, 1 and 2. I remember I was in Walmart, and I was looking like a child at the Fast and Furious section, and my girlfriend was like, "Hey, look what I found!" And Lilo and Stitch. That is what she found, and we ended up getting it because why not? The new movie came out, and I think it sparked everybody's childhood memories of, oh, Lilo and Stitch. I liked that first movie a lot. I'd seen it a lot as a kid, and a lot of it had just kind of left my brain. It had probably been 15 plus years since I'd seen it. It sounds crazy to say that. So rewatching it was like a breath of fresh air, especially with the Elvis soundtrack that I just was not expecting at all. This movie was great. I have yet to rewatch the second one. I've only seen that a couple times when I was a kid. I'm not really looking forward to it because all those straight-to-DVD sequels at that time were kind of low quality. But that first one, it's worth owning this just for the first movie. And I'll probably rewatch that every here and there. And if I have kids someday, which I plan to, that'll be one that is on, I'm sure, quite a bit. I have a niece, and she loves Lilo and Stitch, so it's kind of a universally loved type of movie. Place Beyond... Am I too close? I feel like I've rolled too close. The Place Beyond the Pines. This was... I like the concept of the first half more. Might even be less than the first half, but when Ryan Gosling is the moto bandit and he's going around robbing banks and shit, that was fascinating to me. I loved that part of it. It reminded me of Drive. And then the second half occurs, I don't care. I just don't care about all this drama. I don't care the fact that their two sons end up being friends, and then he knew that it was his son all along. It's just such a mess. And, you know, they tried, but I kind of just got this for the first half of the movie, if I'm being honest. Trick or Treat. I was not sure what to expect with this at all. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on it, but I had a really good time. I watched it for the first time this Halloween, and I had a good time. It kind of gives me Goosebumps vibes a little bit, but also kind of gives me, you know, like a Halloween vibe. The end there where he's being stalked in his own house by this little creep, Sam, gave me like a slasher vibe. But then you've got different chunks of the movie. You get the werewolves, the girls who are eating the guy, plural. And you've got the teacher who's poisoning his students.
Always check your candy.
Like, you've got all these different stories going on, and I like the way that they kind of merge them. Usually, they do that just as like a way to be different. I'm a filmmaker. Watch me put my movie out of order to be different, like Quentin Tarantino, where it's not necessary 98% of the time that he's done it, but, you know, pretentious. So watch me put it out of order because I'm Mr. Tarantino or Mr. whoever who does it. I love that this movie is an anthology style where it's all in one night, all in one town, and you got all this going on. So I'd say check this out. It's not the best, but, you know, for Halloween's sake, I think this is a good annual watch. I'm probably going to watch that every year now. Oh, here comes a rant. I fucking hate this movie. Holy shit. I was going in with some expectations because a lot of people whose opinions I value, which I don't know why I do that. I don't know why I value anyone's opinion. We all have such different views on stuff, but certain people who I kind of lean on to, okay, will I put my time into this and not hate it, or will I enjoy it? I hated every minute of this movie. I hated the whole concept. I hate the fact that this was a Halloween. Like, if this was a different franchise or it was just a standalone movie, it would still be dog shit, but at least it wouldn't affect the whole legacy of Halloween. Not that Halloween's this, like, fantastic franchise where every movie's great, but this is so fucking bad, man. And the main actor, I can't stand him. I don't remember his name. I don't care to because I simply can't stand him. He's in The Fog, and I just can't I know we end up finding out at the end that the girl he's with is a robot all along, but I'm supposed to believe that she's sleeping with him. He's like a 50-year-old man who looks disturbingly gross, and she's this, like, attractive young lady, probably my age or younger, sleeping. So I'm just trying to picture me sleeping with, like, a 50-year-old gross-looking woman, and it's just, no. So I know it's for the purpose of the story, but even in The Fog, he's sleeping with Jamie Lee Curtis. I never understood. I guess him and John Carpenter are buddies, so he just writes him into these roles to make him look cool. I thought he was awful in this movie. I just thought the whole concept was terrible, and I'm just glad I'll never watch it again. I own it. You know, it's nice to kind of own now and be like, see, that right there is the worst Halloween movie. Because I've heard a lot of people say, you know, like, Halloween 6 is bad, and Halloween 4, like, listen, they've all got their issues. Yeah, that one is just, that's the bastard child. You don't want to even count that as a Halloween movie. Halloween 2, much better. This is, it's a breath of fresh air. After talking about that, breath of fresh air. Now, this movie, it's got its problems. This is not a great movie, but it's also so much better than Halloween 3 that it might be the best movie ever made in comparison. If you watch this after the third one for some reason, if you went out of order, yeah, you'd be so happy because this is so much better, and the kills in this movie are top-notch. The hot tub scene is one of my favorite kills in horror movie history. The whole ending scene in the hospital between Loomis and Michael, that little standoff there.
It's time, Michael.
It was a perfect way to end this story. I know we needed a bunch of sequels, but I love to just watch the first two Halloween movies, and that's that. I didn't own it for the longest time because it was just on the archive website online. You could just, for free, check it out. I've watched it, 2 or 3 times. I enjoy the second movie, so glad to own it. It's a little slow-paced. There's not a lot going on, but, if you like the first movie and the lore that they've created with that franchise, you'll enjoy this as a bit of a spin-off now because it doesn't count. This is simply not part of the lore anymore. They've gone, we don't like that. So, I guess watch it if you don't care about that. The Saw collection. So for the longest time, I've owned just the first 2 Saw movies, and I was kind of just content with that because I've seen all the Saw movies plenty of times. I didn't feel like I had to own the whole collection, but I was doing some browsing on Amazon, and this was on sale for $27 or something. I had never seen Jigsaw, which, by the way, was by far the worst in this franchise for me. I've yet to see Spiral, but I would even take Saw 10 over Jigsaw every day of the week. I thought Saw 10 was a lot better, to be honest. Jigsaw was fucking awful. There's just nothing happened in the whole fucking movie. I was just waiting for something entertaining to happen. Nothing happened that was worth watching. A lot of CGI blood, which is kind of the fault of my in my eye of this franchise, where after the first 2-3 movies, the CGI kills just get way out of hand. There's so much CGI blood. There's so much CGI just overload. Like, it's just too much. Your brain can tell the difference between real and fake. But those first few movies, I'll always love them. Especially Saw 2 just has a weird spot in my heart. It's always been my favorite in this franchise. I don't know why. I just love the concept that they're in this house poisoning them slowly and they're all kind of turning on each other. I love that. But I also like the third movie where you've got... What is the main character's name in that one? Someone will remind me in the comments if there's anybody on the planet watching this. And he's going through the different people who have affected him in his life, and he gets to choose if they live or die. I loved that whole plot. And then you end up finding out at the end that the doctor doing his surgery was his wife all along, and it's just this obviously they tie it in. It's like a soap opera, but I just love that they find a way to make it somehow expand every movie. Where you're like, oh, this happened in that movie. How can they explain that? And then 3 movies later, they explain it. I like that. So I wanted to own all of them. So when I was feeling the urge to watch them, I could just put any of them in. And this gives you the best of both worlds, all the DVDs and Blu-rays. So, you know, if you kind of feel like, I just feel like watching in 720p for some reason, you can do that. Okay, so that is that for the movies. But I've got a few die casts, Fast and Furious, that I would like to show, because there's no other time for me to show any of these Fast and Furious die casts. So let's get this out of the way first. It's quite the find. I've seen this on Amazon and eBay for $80 to $100 for the most part. I don't really know why. I don't understand, because I've seen this at the store quite a lot recently. But this was a jackpot in my eyes. I hadn't seen this ever in person. Sean's Evo is new to this whole Jada collection of cars. I'm so excited for the 1/24th scale of that. It's gonna come someday. You just know it, and I cannot wait. You've got the Skyline, obviously, from Too Fast, Too Furious. I love it, obviously. I've got one out of box over there, so it's nice to have one in box. But yeah, that Lancer, that was the whole object of why I bought this, and I needed it. But yeah, when this 1/24th comes out, I'll be there. I'll be there, because I've been waiting. This was the score of the year so far in terms of Fast and Furious stuff in person. I have yet to see a Jetta in person, and I got this. It's not the 1/24th, but at least I got my hands on this. So it's better than nothing, and I'll take it any day of the week. Yeah, I went to a different Walmart than I usually go to, expecting nothing. It was in a smaller town, and, you know, going in with the mindset that I'm not finding anything. And I ended up finding this, and I should have bought the F-Bomb Camaro. That was there too, but it's kind of not as big of a priority as the Jetta. This is something I've been looking for a while. And next is finding a 1/24th scale of this that is not $100+. I could probably swallow $60, $70 for this, but man, people are overpricing that one. And speaking of 1/24th, it's kind of annoying at the plastic there is a bit of a scratch, but we roll. Brian's R30, is it the R34? Yeah, but they used different cars for the stunt cars, so excuse me for being confused. But this was always kind of a really underrated car in the franchise. It's only in Fast 4, kind of not a loved movie. You know, it's not one of most people's favorites, so I can see why this kind of slid under the radar. But it doesn't have the flashy decals of the Too Fast GTR, but it's got some beautiful rims, and I love the blue. It's mint. I'm glad I have it. So now I own every Brian Skyline. I own the Too Fast one. I own the Too Fast one in the Prelude, where it was just off the lot when he bought it. And I own this. I own this one from Fast 5. We're getting there. I think this is my 17th 1/24th scale. So soon I cross the 20 mark. I'd say the priorities, Dom's RX-7 is definitely number one for me. And then you could start getting into stuff like 350Z and the Jetta. But that is that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back next month to talk about stuff that I gathered. I don't know if it's going to be as much as this last month. I'm not sure. I haven't been much of a movie mood lately. Haven't really been watching them. Been kind of rewatching Walking Dead. Don't get on me. The first few seasons, we don't talk about anything after season 5. I'll stop rambling, okay? Everybody have a good day. Take care.